Hey, everybody, check it out. I'm Fireside again. How about that? Big shout out to Helene and Virtual Veg Fest for this awesome setup. I'm gonna have so much fun. The first background that I uploaded, it looked like I was like engulfed in the flames. So I was glad to find one that where the fireplace was a little further back, but now we can be fireside, we can be cozy, we can have a nice chat, and I don't have to be super hot by being by an actual fire. So this is awesome. All right, let's kick it off with a thank you to Orgain for the sponsor for this week's talks. Prize packs for this month's contest have been graciously donated by Hodo Foods, Crofters Organics, Follow Your Heart, Cinnaholic, Shrew Meats, and Orgain. I invite my viewers to enter the monthly contest at virtualvegfest.com and click on the contest tab for details. Entering is super easy, just by clicking and or subscribing, just by liking rather, and or subscribing to our social media and Virtual Veg Fest YouTube channel, you're entered to win one of 6 prize packs. We really want you to subscribe to the Virtual Veg Fest YouTube, so we're continuing to do 25 entries just for subscribing through the contest link. So good luck. Get over there and subscribe. All right, well, thanks for being here with me tonight. Everyone watching, why don't you go ahead and drop your location in the comments so we can see where everybody is watching from. While you do that, today we're talking about like barbecues and summer parties. Here in the US, next Sunday is the 4th of July, and that is a pretty common holiday for people to be, out in their backyards or at local parks having picnics or barbecues, cooking out, as some of us call it. So there's a lot of opportunity to be out and about safely outside with your friends and or family and eating a lot of food. Hi, Diane. Diane's here. Diane is in Edison, New Jersey. Welcome, Diane. Thanks for joining me tonight. So I wanted to start off, and I think I have a quote, and I think that this quote applies to what I'm going to talk about. And if it's not obvious right away, I'll explain it. So the quote is from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it is, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." So I think that this quote applies because you will find, especially if this is your first summer being vegan, you are going to find that people, it might be difficult sometimes depending on where you're at, barbecues or outdoor parties. What you eat is going to be a focus. And you have some decisions to make around what you eat. So I think that this quote applies because there's so many times, those of us who are vegan, and for you who are new, you'll see there are so many times where people, it almost seems like they're trying to push not being vegan on you, or for you to change what you're doing because they don't understand it, they feel threatened by it, whatever it is. And so when we stand up and we say to people that we love, no, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. And I honestly don't even think it's like, this is who I am now. No, I think that when we go vegan, we do it because we've discovered who we've always been. And so we are living our truth. We are living in alignment with our highest values. And that is us being who we truly are. So just wanted to share that wonderful quote with you because I really do think it applies. So let's talk about barbecues. And for people in the southern part of the United States, when there's some colloquialisms, right? Up here in New Jersey, when we say barbecue to us, when someone says, hey, do you want to come to my house for a barbecue, or I'm having a barbecue next Saturday, they literally mean they're putting like burgers and hot dogs on a grill. Down south, barbecue means something completely different. It's like smoked and there's sauces, and like the sauce is like a big focus, and so it is different. So forgive me, I'm going to use all of these words interchangeably, but what I really mean is we're eating outside, we're cooking outside, and we're meeting together with our friends and our family. So first up, do you bring your own food? That would probably seem like the easiest thing, right? Especially if we know that food is going to be grilled, which is a very common thing at barbecues, cookouts, outdoor summer parties. So the first thing is like, whose house are you going to? Let's say we're not even at our house, so don't think about that just yet and how we deal with that. We're going to someone's house. Do we bring our own food? Do you know how, like, what their grill setup is like? So me, for example, we're going to just use me. So I've been doing this a long time. My parents are well versed. My brother is well versed in all of the requirements I've set forth as to how I will eat food made on a grill. And, my mom is vegan now too. So my dad really gets it. But so, they'll make sure that the grill is clean and very often make our food first, or like completely separate on the opposite sides of the grill. So that's an option if you're okay with that. Or they can cook your food first before they make anything else. And then and the grill's been cleaned, that your food has not been in contact with animal products. There are some people where they're willing to concede that. And it's okay if the food is made on the same grill. When you think about if you're a vegan who goes out to eat at restaurants that are not just vegan restaurants, there's always a chance of cross-contamination. So then you have a decision to make at a restaurant. Do you go anyway, knowing there's a chance of cross-contamination, so that the restaurant knows that the vegan option is valued? We want more of it. Please keep bringing these options to us, and encourage them to keep what's on the menu. Or do you not go because you're concerned about cross-contamination? That is a personal decision, if you ask me. Same thing goes for if you're at a barbecue and you've got veggie burgers, or the person bought veggie burgers for you, or veggie dogs, and they're going to make that on the grill for you. How do you feel about that? It's a question to ask yourself for sure. Because like I said, we can have a different take on it. Because if you are adamant about it and you're like, no, I won't eat something that is made next to or on the same grill as animal products, that is completely okay. But knowing your audience, are you setting it up for people to think that you're impossible and being vegan is impossible? And why would you even bother? Oh, it's so much work. Or like, are they fine with it? And like, for me, I'm okay with it feeling like I'm a lot of work, but I also like to stress that being vegan is not really that difficult, especially this day and age. So I kind of want to put out there, like, this is actually really easy. And sometimes, depending on where I'm going, and if I know that it might be difficult to have a conversation about preparing my food, maybe I'll bring my own food that doesn't need to be put on a grill. But when you do that, my suggestion is that you make enough to share with everyone. Because the best way, I think, to get people engaged in veganism without feeling defensive, which means that, like, if you can do it without people getting defensive, that wall that typically comes up when someone's telling you you're doing something wrong isn't there, because we're not focusing on the difficulties with or the issues with people consuming animals. We're focused on how amazing is this dish that I brought today. And I think that can start a different type of conversation. And then maybe next time they will grill your food first, not think twice about it. Maybe next time they'll have more questions for you. Maybe they want to try that veggie dog or that veggie burger. So it depends on what your motive is, right? My motive is to make people feel comfortable, safe, and happy. And through all of that, convince them to go vegan. So let's say you are not comfortable with either having a conversation about how your food is prepared or letting someone else prepare your food. You're going to make something. Make sure you tell the person ahead of time, especially if it's typically not a potluck thing. If you know that every time you go to this person's house that they always want people to bring food for whatever reason, then you can, feel good about like just showing up with food. But if that's not typically it, if people like to kind of provide everything for all of their guests, definitely make sure that you talk to your host first. That is key. Let them know I'm bringing this, or, I was thinking I was going to bring this great pasta salad that I love. Can I bring enough for everyone? Something like that. And when years and years ago, there was once I went to a barbecue at my cousin's house. I actually stopped and I got Chipotle on the way because I didn't want to go to the grocery store and I didn't want to have them grill anything for me. So I just brought Chipotle. And that was honestly easy. Of course, people talked about it, but there were some members of the mixed family that would come, like, married in my cousin's husband, who were constantly on me about what I was eating. They thought it was hilarious to talk about vegan hot dogs and stuff. Oh, it's so funny. I don't get it. But so I knew what I was in for. And honestly, it was just easier in those moments to bring my own food. So what do you guys think? It's pretty quiet here tonight. Are you not preparing for barbecues or cookouts or parties? What about the rest of the summer? While we're talking about summer parties, while I, wait, feel free to, drop your thoughts in the comments. I love to actually talk with you guys. What about weddings? How many of us are going to weddings this summer? I'm not. At least I don't think so. Haven't received any invites. But how many of these weddings, are like a sit down meal and you don't know what you're getting, or they have a vegetarian option, they don't have a vegan option? My suggestion there is to make sure that you talk to whoever in the bridal party. So are you on the groom side, on the bride side, whoever best within the wedding party, let them know that you'll be looking for a vegan option. You can, of course, mark it on the response card that you need a vegan option, or however many vegan options for you and the people attending with you. But you want to make sure that they're aware of that as well. And I'm bringing up weddings because there can be so many weddings in the summertime, right? Ooh, Diane, very nice. Diane just had some barbecued tofu on the grill. It sounds delicious. Oh, it's such good stuff. I made tofu in a pan the other night, and that was so good. I was tossing it in everything, from salads to bowls, sandwiches, whatever. But barbecue tofu, I'm gonna have to do that now that you've got me thinking about it. That sounds amazing. So if anyone's just joined, I just wanted to let you know, please share your thoughts around attending barbecues, cookouts, family summer parties outside. How do you handle when you're the vegan and no one else is? Just curious. So feel free to share that in the chat. I was just touching on weddings because, summertime from like June through October is pretty common time for weddings. If you aren't really close enough with anyone and you're still not, and so you're not comfortable talking to someone about your options of eating at the wedding, just eat before. I've done it. Sometimes there's that break. It depends on where the wedding is, right? If there's a break between the ceremony and the reception, you might be able to sneak away, or bring something with you. You can, hide, quickly have a snack before you go in. But I think always ask. I've even asked once we've been seated. at the wedding, at the reception, because I hadn't gotten a clear response from anyone. And look, planning a wedding is crazy, right? So maybe you don't get a response from someone in the bridal party, or a connection that that way through the family, or something, and you really don't know, is there going to be anything here for me to eat? You look at the menu and you sit down, or if it's a buffet and you really can't tell what, even if the vegetables are butter free, just ask someone who works there. That they've got vegetables. We've all been there, right? Like the overcooked pasta with like overboiled vegetables, but it'll get you through. It'll get you through the night. You can get something on your way home. But well, let's see, what else are we doing in the summertime? We're here in New Jersey. We're going to the beach. We are, and some of the beaches allow you to bring. My favorite beach is actually State Park, and allows you to bring your own food. Like, pack up a cooler and just drag it across the sand, and that is amazing. So if that's an option that you have, that's always my favorite thing to do. Oh, Diane, that's so great. The past few weddings she's attended, they've had a vegan option. I think that's great too. I think the more vegans out there, and the more times we ask, and the more the catering halls and chefs that are handling this, like the more that they hear these requests and they see it come in, not just from those the couple getting married, but from the requests of people who are attending, and who ask the servers what vegan options there are. I think that we'll see that it will become more and more common, and it'll be less to worry about. But really, I just wanted kind of to prepare you guys for 4th of July. So if you have any questions about what should you bring, or how do you approach this, talking to somebody when you're visiting, their home. And you know what, honestly, what if you are having a barbecue? What are you going to do? Do you allow people to bring food here? If we were having a barbecue, if we were having people over, like, kind of my view is like, well, this is our house. Like, my husband's vegan too, right? So we're not going to have any non-vegan food, and that's okay. I think that it's perfectly within our rights, and like, I don't know whether we're use there, but it's perfectly within the expectations that you're coming to a vegan's home. They're going to serve you vegan food, and you know what, you'll be fine, right? So don't worry about your guests. If they complain, that's fine. You're going to wow them with amazing vegan food, and they're not going to miss it. And it gives you an opportunity to really expose people to what you love and what matters the most to you. But I do think when you're visiting someone's home, if you aren't close enough, because yeah, we go to our siblings' homes, our parents' homes, our cousins, aunts, uncles, whoever that we might be super close with. So they already know that we're vegan. They already know what we eat, what we don't eat, that type of stuff. So they're kind of prepared for us, or there's a knowing, like, whenever I go, to, go to this aunt's house, I bring my own food, and that's just the end of it. Then that's what you do. But if you're visiting with new friends, or even work events, I feel like now that it's warm, and people are getting vaccinated, and people are more comfortable with being out, things are opening up, that there will be a lot more of this. And in the last year, it's almost like you forget how to handle these social situations. And I think so now we have to kind of revisit, oh, how do we do this? How do we talk about this? So I think just be honest. Go back to that quote, right? Be who you are. Be true to yourself. and what your values are, and be kind while you do it. Even if someone So it's just so important, right? That even when it's really difficult, and as vegans, we know this. And if you're new, as a new vegan, you'll learn it. Sometimes people are just going to give you a hard time. And that's just how it is. And it's in those moments when it's the most important to be kind, to be clear about what you need, and to be kind and compassionate about us. Compassion doesn't just begin and end with the animals. That's why we do this, but it's not the only place that we apply those values to. So when we are having difficult conversations, difficult interactions with non-vegans who just don't understand why we won't eat a veggie burger, cooked next to um, animal products, or maybe we do, but we're not going to eat a bun that has milk in it, and they just don't get it. Then we have to be kind, but we have to be clear. So I just don't want anyone to ever feel like when someone gives you a really hard time, you want to avoid that, and so you just kind of eat whatever they give you. That's definitely not okay, and no one should ever feel forced into that. And you go to someone's home and they're like, too bad, this is all I've got. Then you know what? You just don't eat. You wait till you leave. Or maybe you leave right then. Maybe their maybe their company isn't that great. I don't know. But that's really like completely up to you. So continue to be who you are. Continue to live the values and be true to yourself. And just show the world and the people in your world how amazing it is to be vegan, how lovely it is. It's seriously the most beautiful thing I've ever done. And the more that you do that, the more people will ask questions and be interested. And then you'll be able to attend lots of barbecues and cookouts and parties and not have to worry, because you never know, these people might go vegan too. So, thank you for joining me this evening. If you ever have a suggestion on a topic that you'd like me to cover, if you have questions that you don't want to ask live, but you want an answer to, you can always you can send a message through the Virtual Veg Fest Fireside Chat website. The send me a message is right there on the page. You can follow me at Did You Bring the Hummus on both Instagram and Facebook, and on Twitter at Bring the Hummus. And you just send me a message. Let me know, what are you thinking about? What do you need? That's why I'm here. And of course, join me live every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about a topic. I take questions. I'm just happy to be here. I'm honored to do this work. And I thank you so, so much. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you on next Monday. Bye.